If Vedanta can be explained in one line for this WhatsApp generation,
All this is drama, you are OG consciousness. I remember long back I had seen a movie called The Matrix. The whole plot is nothing but Vedanta.
everybody has job, they have bills to pay.
Chasing zeros is not going to fill the void within.
What if today's Arjuna sends a DM saying, bro, I'm confused?
So Krishna would say, Bhai,
Hari Om Namaste and welcome to Stories and Chants, where the ancient meets the awesome. This episode is for everyone who has tried to understand Vedanta but ended up scrolling random reels and WhatsApp messages instead. Vedanta for the WhatsApp generation. And who better to join us than the amazing person who can explain Vedanta and divinity with a smile and humor. We welcome Swami Swatmananda ji, dynamic leader and teacher from Chinmaya Mission, Mumbai, who has been serving and teaching for more than 25 years on various subjects from Advaita Vedanta, Gita, the Upanishads. He inspires children and youth with his dynamic spirituality, encourages them to think and question through various activities like plays, treks, experiential learning. Unlike the normal image we have of a monk, he is more tech savvy than most of us and has been active on social media and Instagram to spread knowledge to everyone. To gain from his wealth of knowledge, please do follow and subscribe to Chinmaya Shivam. Hari Om Swamiji, thank you so much for coming to Stories and Chants.
Hari Om, thank you, Sapna ji.
We just want to discuss on Vedanta for the WhatsApp generation. So this kind of reminds me of a joke that is making its round in WhatsApp. So there's this disciple who goes to his guru and he says, can monks use email? The guru looks at him, smiles and says, yes, as far as there are no attachments.
Very nice. So I also heard one which said that, how does a monk order a pizza? He says, make me one with everything.
If Vedanta can be explained in one line for this WhatsApp generation to put on their WhatsApp status, what would it be?
All this is drama, you are OG consciousness.
OG consciousness means?
OG in the Gen Z language is original gangster. So Vedanta says, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. In today's language it is, all this is drama, it is illusion. And there's, you are OG consciousness. You are the only one original consciousness.
If you had to say the same thing, Vedanta for Instagram, for a post or a story, then what would it be?
You are not the skin suit, you are not the brain chatter, you are not the mental apps, you are not the ego flex. You are consciousness running the whole vibe.
Wow.
But there's a difference between a WhatsApp status or an Instagram story because they change after 24 hours. This message of Vedanta is eternal. For thousands of years, this has been the message of Vedanta, and that's why it is called Sanatan. Sanatan means that which is eternal. So no matter how many new generations keep coming, the message of Vedanta is same, that you are consciousness.
Beautiful, Swamiji. Everybody is in the hunt for happiness. It is like the goal of a person's life is happiness. So understanding Vedanta, how does this help us?
So Vedanta says that happiness is not outside you, not inside you, not with you. Happiness is you. We are already what we seek. It's just that we don't know. As consciousness, our nature is Paramanand. And when we know this, our chase stops. We find peace, we find happiness as our true self. This knowledge is what Vedanta gives us. Because I don't know. So the ignorance is the root cause and knowledge removes that. And Vedanta gives us that knowledge and the way to realize it also.
If we forget the enemies outside, I've heard that we have a lot of enemies within us, inside of us. There are a lot of cool sounding words that this particular generation uses, especially in pop culture and in t-shirts. What is Maya? What are these Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya? What are these? If you can just explain it to me in one or two sentences, if possible with examples.
So Maya, the word is very simple. In Vedanta, if you reverse it, Ya Ma, then you understand what is Maya. Ya Ma means that which is not. So Maya is, it shows us something, it makes us feel something, but it is not real. Example, in today's age is our Instagram filters. People post photographs and with all filters, and one thinks, oh, this is how this person looks, but actually that person is not looking like that.
Yes.
So Maya is like that. It shows the glitter and glamour, but inside it is all hollow. Empty. Maya is also that which makes us feel that happiness is out there because of the glitter and glamour. So I feel that, if I have this most expensive BMW car and I'm riding that car and I feel so powerful, but where am I riding? In Mumbai, in the potholes of Mumbai at 5-10 kilometers per hour. But I have that delusion that, oh, I got the BMW and this is the first edition. And, so that Maya makes me have this equation that I plus this BMW is equal to happiness. This is an illusion that Maya creates. And now once I have this equation, that is called as karma. That is the desire. Self-centeredness comes in. All the other enemies come in because of this. Kama is selfishness, Krodha is anger, Lobha is greed, Moha is delusion, Mada is pride, Matsarya is jealousy.
So basically, Swamiji, these 6 are the speed breakers in one's life. They don't allow us to reach our destination, which is, of course, happiness.
Definitely, they are the speed breakers, and in Vedanta we also say they are Shad Ripus, or they are 6 enemies.
Okay.
See, the visible enemies one can deal with, but these are very dangerous invisible enemies, more dangerous than any external enemies or even animals or anything else, any threat, because they completely disturb our mind and take us away from our nature as happiness. So karma is self-centeredness. It's like being in permanent selfie mode where I and me is most important, nothing else. I'm blinded. It is like checking a group photo and focusing only on your face. There is so much more happening in that. But one is just centered on how I am looking, how people are perceiving me. Vedanta doesn't say that don't attain prosperity or don't care for yourself or don't have self-love. But self-centeredness, the greater it is, the greater will be our stress, our extrovertedness. And all the other 5, they come because of this karma. Karma, when it is obstructed, it will give rise to Krodha and it will give rise to Matsarya, jealousy. If it is fulfilled, it will give rise to greed, it will give rise to delusion and pride. So they appear as 6, but they are actually expression of 1. Krodha, if we have to explain, our Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmaya used to say that Krodha is expectation multiplied by denial. When I have a certain expectation, and it is not fulfilled, whatever comes as an obstacle between me and my desire, the emotion arising towards that obstacle is called anger. So greater the attachment, greater is the anger. It is like the temporary power surge leaving us with a permanent regret bill. Because anger comes as an impulse. In the Gita, Bhagavan says udvega. Kama Krodha as an udvega. And whoever can bear that udvega can be peaceful and happy. So it comes as an impulse, and if we don't control it, we'll end up doing things which we regret. It is also a self-burn appearing as an external firework. And that's why one philosopher said very nicely that anger is a cry for help. Because a person is burning inside, painful. So that's how we move away from happiness. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Lobha is greed. Wanting more and more and more in spite of having more than enough. It's like a shopping spree one goes into even when the closet is full. And one still feels, oh, I don't have enough.
The best example would be, Swamiji, we go online, we purchase so many things. We order 5-10 things and then we realize, oh my God, I already have 3-4 of these. Then return karo sab kuch.
It also happens because of moha, that is called as a delusion. It's a brain fog because of which I can't see the reality as it is and I see something else. So it's like, living for reals, forgetting the real. Nowadays when people go for travel and, they go to some beach and they are seeing a nice sunset, before they experience it, they are taking photographs. And so it is like, missing the real sunset and then sitting and scrolling it in my photo album.
Yes.
Or it is also like when people have follows, they feel so excited. Oh, I have so many people to follow me and they liked my comment and, they commented on it and they liked what I posted, and they are on the cloud nine. And a few people unfollow, they are again crashing down. So this is delusion, where I think that happiness comes from outside. This is called moha. Then we have mother, pride, intoxication. It can be of wealth, it can be of power, knowledge, things, popularity. So it's like an ego sugar high, but it clouds our vision. Intoxication when one has, it's like one feels that one has created the internet when one has actually coded just one app. So our achievement may be small, but we hype it up and make it so big. So that's the intoxication, that is the mother. And last one is matsarya. It is jealousy. It is pain at someone's success and joy at someone's failure. It is converting somebody's win into your own inner loss. You know, somebody at the gym lifts weights heavier than you, and suddenly you feel that your set is very tiny. Or somebody is wearing an outfit that you wanted and you liked, but you couldn't get, and you feel robbed.
These 6 that we call emotions, they are our enemies and they take us away from the real life. So once we leave them, then will we be happy?
Definitely. But today, one feels that I must have this to be happy. That's our delulu. We live in such a la-la land thinking that, greed is justified. People say, I am not content. People justify anger. They justify selfishness in the name of self-love. We believe that we are happy when we hold on to something. But Vedanta says, Tyagat Shantihi Anantaram. Vedanta says, when you drop these, instantly there is peace. Because of these 6 emotions, the mind is in a storm. And when the mind is in a storm, one can't perform well, one can't be loving, one can't be happy. But interesting thing is, the eye of the storm, the center is always peaceful. These are all at the surface of our mind. Vedanta says, in your core, you are the consciousness. Drop holding on to any of these, and one will realize one's nature as happiness. So yes, we have to let go. When we overcome this, we are happy.
So how do we get to this destination, this truth, this happiness? Is there any story that symbolizes this particular journey?
So our scriptures give many stories, no doubt. But since we are discussing Vedanta for WhatsApp generation, I remember long back I had seen a movie called The Matrix. The first part specifically, Keanu Reeves stars in that, and it is the journey of a seeker from bondage to liberation. And how a guru comes and makes him aware of what is his true nature, how he is trapped, and what is being shown to him is illusory. And the whole plot is nothing but Vedanta, where he makes him aware of his true nature. He frees him from that limitation of his own mind, and he is able to come out of that. Once he comes out of that, he awakens as though to his true self. So from bondage to awareness of bondage, surrender to the guru, following the methods, all that which is said in Vedanta, that movie depicts it most beautifully.
There's also another movie that was taken up, Jim Carrey's movie.
Yes, The Truman Show.
Yes, The Truman Show.
I think he is living in a fabricated reality. The whole thing actually is a TV show, and then he is inside it. He doesn't know it, but everybody else knows. He thinks it is real, and then slowly he figures out, no, there's something amiss here, and then he understands, and he tries to go out of that. So it is like this, we think this whole thing is very, very real. But Vedanta says, you need to wake up. It's like a dream. We are living in a dream. As long as we are in the dream, it appears very real. But when we wake up, then we realize, oh, the whole dream has disappeared. It was only an illusion.
How do you know what is real, what is unreal? How do we grow over these emotions, these illusions, so that we can become happy?
So real and unreal in Vedanta is defined as what is there in all 3 periods of time is real. And what is not in 3 periods of time is unreal. But what appears to be momentarily, that is illusory. So these emotions, these thoughts that arise, they are momentary. I, the observer, is there at all times. So to be aware that these are momentary, they come and they go, and that we all experience. Excitement comes, it goes, anger comes, it goes, love comes, it goes. It goes on changing. Mind is continuously changing. So to be aware of this, like how one is sitting in a movie and one is watching the whole movie and one gets so identified, attached with the characters, and one feels like laughing, one laughs, one cries, everything one is going through with the character. But then when it ends, then one realizes, oh, this was only a movie. I, the observer, nothing happened actually to me. When I got identified, then I was going through up and down. So Vedanta says you step back and observe this whole thing as a game. I remember one autograph that Swami Chinmaya gave to an actor. He said, while acting, think it is real, but in real life, act well. Meaning, as a professional actor, he has to think it is the role that he is playing that is real. But deep down, he knows that he is the actor, this role is not real. And in real life, he should think that even these roles he is playing in real life is only acting. So he says, act well. Because in real life, those are again roles. And one is the truth, one is the reality, which is completely different. So real and unreal will be segregated when I become aware of who I am truly.
And this applies to not only actors, no, Swamiji, it is for everybody. We all have roles to play in life.
Yes.
So, very true.
All of us are actually actors.
Yes, very true. So, you mentioned the 3 periods of time.
3 periods of time are past, present and future.
And then it was sleeping deep. I saw
You
that
can
was
apply
3.
that also. Waking dream, deep sleep also. Whatever comes in waking dream, deep sleep also comes and goes. It is temporary.
Yes.
So either past, present or future or waking dream, deep sleep. It is all momentary. I, the observer, is just the uninvolved, unaffected witness. Its nature is happiness.
How do you come out of this world so that you become the observer and know the real you and find happiness?
So Gita gives a very beautiful shloka in which it says, Natvaham teshu te mai. They are in me, I am not in them. If I have this attitude that these emotions, they rise in me, they stay in me, they fall in me. I am that consciousness, I am that witness. And my nature is infinite happiness. Then these emotions don't affect me. It is like the game console, In that the characters are there, the characters take up different, costumes, and there is killing, there is fighting, there is running, there is escaping. All that happens in the game, but the console remains as it is. Nothing happens to the console.
Yes.
Even today in quantum physics, they say, observe the observer. There is the ultimate observer is the Sakshi. So we have to be that witness. The nature of that witness is the truth, consciousness, happiness.
I like the example about the game console. The game console also, it means that you have multiple games in the same console. But the console doesn't
change. Yes.
This true and ultimate happiness, many books, videos, reels, they all say that it is the Brahman, it is the ultimate consciousness. What is this?
So when we think about it like that, it is Brahman, ultimate consciousness. We think it is somewhere out there, something abstract, very far, nameless, formless, attributeless. But actually it is experienced every minute by each of us. When we feel, I am, aham, aham. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said as aham sphurana. That aham is eternal. I will never be able to feel I am not. Body, mind, intellect, we add adjectives to it. We say I am happy, I am sad, I am tall, I am dark, I am young, I am handsome, I am successful, I am atheist, I am believer. These are all adjectives of the body, mind, intellect. But I am is common in all. And that is common in all hearts. So that infinite consciousness, which is the substratum of the whole world, that is called as Brahman, which is of the nature of existence, awareness and bliss. Sat, Chit, Anand. So if I have to give a technological example, it is like the cloud storage. Nowadays everybody stores data in the cloud. So in the cloud storage, it is just space. You can put heavy files into it, you can put photographs into it, you can put music, you can put video, you can put a small file, big file, whatever you put. All those attributes belong to the files. The storage is just empty space, it is blank space. Same way, Brahman is infinite consciousness. All the other adjectives are belonging to body, mind and intellect. And so if we detach from this body, mind, intellect, we realize our nature is Brahman, it's not somewhere out there.
This cloud storage example is amazing, Swamiji. I've also heard you say, there's another example. You said that all of us are like different devices and we are all being charged by one single power source.
True. At the moment, we identify ourselves with the devices. So devices like our body, mind, intellect. So how electricity charges a fridge or a music system or a cell phone. Devices are different, but electricity is one. Same way, consciousness is the infinite power. That power is changeless. But devices have their own expiry date. They are there only for a certain time. Same way, this body, mind, intellect is there for a short while. It is temporary. We need to go to the source. That source is the consciousness. That is electricity, and that is infinite.
It's like that animated movie Inside Out, where all the emotions are influencing that Riley, the girl Riley, and how she changes completely. So it is very similar to that.
We as the audience, we were seeing each emotion playing out in the movie and how it transformed the character of Riley. And we are watching it as observers, that how the emotion is acting with Riley and how Riley is getting influenced and transformed. Same thing if we are able to do in our mind. That's why the movie is titled very aptly as Inside Out. In our mind, if we can just watch, these emotions are playing with this Riley is our mind and they are playing and this mind is getting transformed. But I am the observer. I am someone else completely. Then these emotions do arise and we don't have to suppress the emotions. But we don't get overwhelmed by it because we know we are different from it.
So a happy person is someone who does not have any emotions at all. Will that not make life very dry and boring?
No emotions, that is not at all possible. It is not that we will not have emotions. A happy person has emotions, but is not controlled by emotions. If we become aware of these emotions, we are not pulled by these emotions. And in fact, we have that strength to choose which emotions to entertain, when, what, how, why, all that we are rationally able to decide and go with certain emotions which are good for us and consciously withdraw from those which are hurting and harming us. It is like this philosophy of wow. Wow means with or without. With an ice cream, you say wow. Without ice cream, you say wow. With promotion, you say wow. Without promotion, you say wow. If you get a job that you seek, wow. If you don't get, you say wow. So you are able to consciously choose the state of balance, equanimity, strength. And even if there's a disappointment, I go through it, but I'm not overwhelmed by it. I bounce back. So Swami Chinmaya used to give us these 3 mantras. One is so what? Second is bounce back. And third is look ahead. Many things can happen in life. Disappointments, difficulties, challenges, they come. But if I apply these, so what if this have happened? I need to bounce back. The harder you are hit, the higher you can rise. And look ahead. What do I really want to achieve in my life? If I focus on these, the emotions will come and they will go. But I am anchored.
So if we choose emotions, Swamiji, then what happens to spontaneity?
Spontaneously, I choose emotions. Out of my clarity, out of the goal that I want to achieve. And out of this understanding that life is very short, let me choose the positive. Because in that, there is great sense of peace, happiness, bliss. The negative is not our nature. And that's why it disturbs us. So if I have that clarity, I will spontaneously choose. And the more I love myself, more happy I am with myself. As an individual, I will choose the positive. And that will help me to also step back and realize my nature as happiness. If I am in a negative mode, I cannot step back and understand my nature also as happiness.
If I have control over my emotions, then I am in control. Then what is that ego? Is it that I?
Yes, that small I, if it is the small I which is feeling that yes, emotions are in my control, then it is the individuality, which is the ego. But when I say that I am the observer and the emotions are rising and falling and I am just the observer, then it is not the ego. Then emotions rise, they stay, they fall, and I am continuously watching. The response of that emotion also I am watching. So ego, we say ego is like the original social media influencer before any other social media came up. Because what is a social media influencer? When somebody is making as an influencer, you watch the reel as an observer, it has a positive or a negative impact on you. You scroll, you see it, you like it, or you swipe it away. So ego is also like that. That ego is an influencer. It will influence us through whatever it sees, hear, taste, smells, touches, all the emotions which come. Ego will influence us. But if I understand that I am the one who is even observing that ego, then I am completely different from it. While I should be in control of emotions, no doubt, but the pride that I am in control is what will make me fall. Because truly, if we see, there is no control we have. Control is the biggest illusion. When one understands that I can only do my best, whatever happens, there are innumerable factors which are not in my control. So I learn to accept life as it comes. That is the state of surrender. That is the state of being an observer. Ego, what is the acronym of ego? Ego means edging goodness out. When I operate out of ego, the goodness in me goes out. I become more insecure, self-centered. But if I understand that truly I have no control, but I can do what best I can, then my choices will be guided by intelligence.
Ego being the first and original social media influencer, Swamiji, that tagline I really loved. It is like you go to a satsang and there is this one person who says that everybody should be humble, like me.
Yeah, I'm reminded of one quote of Gurudev. Swami Chinmaya used to say that humility is a very strange thing. The moment you think you have it, you have lost it.
While we are on this, today's social media content, we are all so influenced by likes, follows. So how do we deal with this?
Social media is a tool. It is a fantastic tool to reach out to new people, to reach out to the people who are interested in a certain niche. And my focus should be on enjoying the content. We start off many times like that, we love something and we want to share it and we put it out there. Let the focus remain on that. When the focus is on enjoying the process, sharing it with people, and you love the very fact that you are able to engage and reach out, then the other things will come automatically. Swamiji used to say that success is a tribute that life pays to excellence. It is a tribute. Automatically likes, follows, comments, all that will come. But if I'm chasing that, then slowly what will happen, that will build on my mind. And Vedanta says that no matter what you achieve or you don't achieve, your nature is Sachidananda, you are happiness. You don't need anything to become greater. And if you don't get something, you are not any lesser. If this I understand, my work and worth, I don't have to, I have to disconnect my work from my worth. I am worthy no matter what I have. Then we won't be influenced. And our focus will remain on the work that we are doing and we will enjoy that process. If you see all great achievers, how did they become so great? Because they loved what they did. In the Gita, we call it as Swadharma. So do what is your Swadharma. Do what you love and love what you do. In fact, success is like the shadow which will follow when we face the sun and we are moving towards the sun. So let that be our attitude, that we use social media to share the knowledge that we have, the creativity that we have, and we enjoy that process.
When you said that we have to have self-worth, in many of the teenagers in this present times, they don't have that much of self-worth. So what is it that you can tell them?
Let your focus be on your goodness, your strengths. Look within and identify what are your strengths. Each of us has so many capabilities, talents, potential. Look within and express that. Don't think that your self-worth, the word self-worth means it must come from myself. Today, many teenagers think that if I have particular types of clothes, then I'm worthy, particular type of phone, I'm worthy, particular type of, let us say, certain car or a home or a room for myself or any of these if I have, then, I feel good about myself. But these are only things that you have. With all the things you can be very miserable and with none of the things you can be most happy. Why? Because it all depends on how I look at myself. So focus on developing that independence. Second thing is stop comparing with anybody. If these two things I can do, look within, identify my strengths and operate from strength. Second, stop comparing with others. Each of us are unique. We have unique talents, unique situations. If I understand that much, then I will be very happy. Comparing makes me insecure unnecessarily. I can be inspired by somebody and try to imbibe certain good qualities, nothing wrong with that. But if I am comparing, then I am going to feel lesser or I am going to feel superior than somebody. Both these are troubles.
So even with the circle of friends, there is always that FOMO. I am not part of that group. I want to be part of that group. Or if I am in that part of that group, then I have to achieve something.
You should make yourself so strong and self-reliant and focus on your potential that automatically others will want to be a part of your group. I don't have to fit into some other group.
Yes.
Nothing wrong in if I know that there's certain inspiring group and I like to be a part of that group, no problem. Satsang is always good. Good company is always nice. But I don't have to feel lesser that if I'm not a part of that group, let that FOMO not be there. We say, let there be JOMO, joy of missing out. That it's okay if I'm not a part of that group. Gurudev always said that you change and the world around you will change.
So Swamiji is finding the true self, finding the true you, not the one in the matrix, not the one that is controlled by the emotions or the feelings and all. Is this what the gurus say, that is self-realization, Atman, self?
Yes, that is our true self. Like you said, it is not the one who is trapped in the matrix. What is the observer? When we see that the whole thing is playing as a drama, inside my mind, outside in the world, then I am the observer. That nature of that observer is that self. It is consciousness. That is called finding the real you, the true you, which never gets negated in 3 periods of time.
Okay.
That's what the gurus tell us, to discover that true you.
The self, the Atman, is a concept that most people don't get the hang of it. No, they say that if we have to search for it only after we grow older, or they think that people who go up into the mountains and become sadhus, only they can explore it. But at the same time, we have so many foreigners coming into India because they want to discover themselves. They find the real you. So what is your take on this?
Yes, everybody is seeking for self-realization and we want to know who we are truly. Just that we don't know where to seek it, when to seek it and how to seek it. It is like searching for my cell phone everywhere else when it is in my own pocket. It is like putting on the GPS, putting on the Google Maps some location and then one is trying to reach a destination. Self-realization or Atman is not a destination to be reached. And because I don't know that, I postpone it. I think it is later. I don't have time right now. Like you said, in the old age. But the fact is, if I know who I am right now, then everything becomes better. And so the right destination, if I put, and what is that right destination? It is not out there. It is in here, right now. The Google map, if you actually think about it, the destination symbol which is there, it is similar to the tilak that is there on the Vigraha of Panduranga. The tilak
Yes.
that Bhagwan Vithala applies, the whole shape of it also is same. Symbolically, if you actually go to see, this is where it is. If I focus here, my mind can become quiet, I can turn within, I will realize Atman here and now. And which is what our Upanishads, they say, Atma va are drashtavyaha. That Atma is to be realized. And how? Shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, niridhyasitavyaha. You listen to it, reflect upon it and contemplate. So it is not somewhere else in time. It is here and now. So even if I win in the world outside, what is the point if I am losing out on myself? The faster I know myself, the better it is. And so our culture says, you realize the truth first. Then live in the world. Then you will not work for happiness, you will work out of happiness. And that is why one has to realize as soon as one can. And it can be done while doing all the regular duties. It's not that only sadhus and sannyasis can realize the truth. Most of our uh, gods, they all are married, including our rishis. Many of them were grahasthas.
Yes.
Many sadhus, sons, devotees, they all are grahasthas. All it requires is renunciation of the false, dropping of the ignorance. That can be done through any stage of life. If I am not ready for it, my work will become a means to purify my mind to make myself ready for it. So if I have this clarity, then every single thing that I am doing is a preparation for self-realization. And it will lead me to self-realization. It is not after this I finish self-realization. Whatever I am doing is for self-realization. Seeker is only doing it consciously, others are doing it unconsciously.
It is exactly like, you're wearing specs. You keep the specs on top of your head and you're searching everywhere.
So self is also like that. We don't find the self, search the self, achieve the self. We realize that we are the self. And this is what Vedanta is saying. Tat tvam asi. You are that. And just like these glasses, sometimes they get smudged. They have some dust particles. This Maya and these 6 enemies that you spoke about, they are as though covering the glasses. So we are not able to see the truth clearly.
Everybody has job. They have bills to pay. How will it help me?
So we have to realize one thing, that chasing zeros is not going to fill the void within. My hustle of work, etc., can feed the body, but it will not fulfill the hunger of the one who is inside. Which is why we say, in the world of rat race, even if you win, you still remain a rat, always afraid of a cat hiding below a mat. So one still is going to feel fear, insecurity, sorrow, no matter how much I achieve. So the time is now, because a stable income is not going to stop the mind from having unstable thoughts. It can help in certain ways. Don't we see today people who have everything still going into drugs, into depression, many people having suicidal thoughts? Why is that happening? Because the mind is not grounded, mind is not anchored. Anchoring of the mind comes when there is self-knowledge or when there is surrender to the divine. So the sooner you know who you are, the smarter you will be able to use what you have. And which is why Vedanta focuses on this, that you spend some time in a day. And I always give the formula of T20. I say 20 minutes exercise, 20 minutes meditation, 20 minutes of spiritual study. 1 hour in a day. If I can't do it 1 hour in a day, I spend over a whole week, 3 days of exercise, 4 days of meditation, 2 days of study, whatever I can manage. But I need to integrate my body, mind, intellect with this. It will help me in my work, my relationships, in my social life, in my spiritual unfoldment, in everything. So I need to definitely spend more time. I can't postpone this, saying that after all the bills are paid, then I will do. Because life is very short. When what happens, nobody knows. So better it is to do it simultaneously.
So Gurudev also said, no, catch them young. So if it is for the teenagers, how do you get the teenagers to get that grounding? How do you make them understand?
We have to present it to them in a scientific way, that today how quantum physics is speaking about it, that you are not this tangible physical reality. In fact, it is atoms. All this is made up of atoms, and the atoms are 99.99999999. 13 nines are there after the decimal, empty. So from the standpoint of science, if we are able to explain to them that what we are experiencing is a big illusion, then their natural question will be, then what is the truth? And today quantum physics is also saying consciousness is the truth. The whole basis of the creation is not matter, it is consciousness. So one is to approach through science, because they are very logical, they want to know scientific reasons. Second is to make them also aware of the need of the mind to be grounded, emotions to be grounded, and how bhakti helps if they are introduced to the lives of great devotees, as well as successful people even in the world today who have anchored themselves in devotion and who are following the path of righteousness. Slowly they will also understand that yes, this is important for us, it will help me now. Because they have a wrong notion that it is, like you said, something which is optional, can be done later on in life, or it is not cool, it is very superstitious. So I need to get them away from these notions and present it to them in this way. It may appear that they are not immediately, accepting, receiving, but the seeds are sown. In some it will germinate soon, in some it will germinate little later. But when it is presented in an appropriate way and we leave the choice to them, as teenagers, that is another thing we have to remember. We can't enforce. We suggest, expose them to certain aspects like this through science, etc. And then it is up to them, it will happen.
So Swamiji, if you were to explain Atman or the true self as a WhatsApp message for everybody to understand, what would it be?
I would say not born, never off, always lit.
Wow.
That is Satchidanand. Infinite, aware and blissed out.
Does finding this true self give us happiness and contentment?
No, it doesn't give happiness. You only realize that you are happiness already. It cannot give you, because whatever is given is not with you, it will not remain with you.
And can be taken away.
It can be taken away, it can get destroyed. Realizing this true self is not going to give you happiness. You realize that I was, I am, and I will always be Satchidanand. Happiness is my true self at all times.
So Swamiji, Krishna taught Arjuna on the battlefield, and now people are realizing the essence and the importance of Bhagavad Gita. Now, if Krishna was part of a WhatsApp group or if he was on Instagram, then what would he say to all the young Arjunas who are so confused today?
So Krishna would say that be even in success and failure. Both are just chapters in a book of life. You are the whole book. He would say, act in the world, don't get stuck in it. Lotus style, in water, untouched by it.
Oh, wow.
Bodies change like the outfit. You are the wearer who is completely unchanged. The self is never born, never dies. In fact, you cannot delete what was never created. So in many different ways, Krishna would try to, what he said in shlokas, he would put it through punchlines for the WhatsApp generation.
Teaching detachment in the battlefield in between all of this drama. And the hashtag, just divine things.
Krishna also is very adaptive, and to modern generation he would adapt in this way only. So he could even say, do your thing, let karma do its own thing. Because Arjuna was quite deluded. Or he would say, stop overthinking, do the work. Different ways in which he would motivate Arjuna. Don't ghost your duty, get up and fight. Krishna would use the modern terminologies that youngsters use nowadays to inspire Arjuna. Like he did that in the time of the Gita also. He completely changed the term, the meaning of the word yajna, where he said yajna is a cooperative endeavor for a selfless cause. He did not use it in the sense of a ritual. So in the same way he would say, don't ghost your duty, get up and fight.
And it is a message that we all, not only the youngsters, I think we also just don't overthink, get up, do the work is something that we really need in our lives.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions like that. People say, Swamiji, how to handle overthinking? Today, overthinking is a big challenge that people have.
What if today's Arjuna sends a DM saying, bro, I'm confused?
So Krishna would say, bhai, scroll up, read the chat. I already replied this 5,000 years ago. Just do the same now.
Very true. Before we conclude, just a few one-liners to make us understand Vedanta in a better manner or better perspective. Who is the real you?
Not the PFP, not the feed, but the one who is scrolling. That's the real you.
What is PFP, Swamiji?
Profile.
Oh.
Profile picture.
Am I enlightened?
Technically, yes, always. But practically, still buffering. Applies to all of us.
Yes, very true.
Our nature is the self at all times. But practically, we are still identified with the BMI. So, knowledge is still buffering.
How do I get the ultimate freedom, liberation, moksha?
You don't travel there. There are no steps to it. My teacher always said, there is no walking up to realization. It is only waking up. I have to only realize that I am that.
So like the snap of a finger.
Literally.
How to be detached?
Hold the world like Wi-Fi. Use it. Don't cling to it.
This body is not the real me.
You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not the intellect, no doubt. But don't skip your exercise, don't skip your yoga, because the hardware has to be fit for the Wi-Fi to function properly.
Very true. How to stay calm and unaffected by external factors or forces?
Realize that stillness is your own nature. Except that in Mumbai traffic, one may get disturbed, but find your stillness even there.
How do we get some knowledge on true happiness?
Stop podcasting and start pod listening to the voice within.
Thank you so much, Swamiji, for this knowledge, for this gyan, for the punchlines especially.
It was wonderful to do this podcast with you, and I enjoyed the whole process of reflection. And yes, the punchlines, God's grace and our reflection has inspired it, and I'm happy if it makes more and more people listen to Vedanta or become curious about Vedanta to know more, and their journey of self-realization starts.
Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Sapna.